Good morning, students. In the last class, we have done part 1 of chapter 9, The Bond of Love. And we have seen that how a baby sloth bear he receives love and care from a family, and so he find itself attached to that family, and how he makes everybody happy with his playful tricks. So let us study the next part. It is page number 116, paragraph number 30. Then my son and I advised my wife, and friends advised her too, to give Baba to the Jew at Mysore. He was getting too big to kept at a home. After some weeks of such advice, she at last consented hastily, and before she could change her mind, a letter was written to the curator of the zoo. Did he want a tame bear for his collection? He replied, yes. The zoo sent a cage from Mysore in a lorry, a distance of 87 miles, and Baba was packed. As it was getting big, the bear was getting big, and it was becoming a danger for the small children. So the narrator's son and narrator advised, and his friends also advised her to give Baba to a zoo at Mysore, and because they thought that it was not safe to keep such a wild animal at home. And in the beginning she was not agreeing with them, but at last she was consented, she gave her consent. And before she could change her mind, they had written a letter to the curator of the zoo, and asked him if they want a tame bear for their collection. And he replied in yes. So they sent a case from Mysore in a lorry, which was 87 miles away from it, and the Baba was packed off. It was sent to the zoo. We all missed him greatly, but in a sense we were relieved. My wife was inconsolable, and she wept and fretted. For the first few days she would not eat a thing. Then she wrote a number of letters to the curator. How was Baba? Back came the replies, well, but fretting. He refuses food too. Now, all of them missed him greatly, but they were relieved also, as they were now relaxed, that because it was not safe to keep such a big wild animal at home. But the narrator's wife, she was inconsolable, she was very you can say sad, and she was unhappy, and for many days she had not eaten anything. Then she wrote many letters to the curator of the zoo asking about Bruno the Baba, and the curator also replied them that he was well, but he was very sad, he was very unhappy, and he also does not eat food as he was missing them. After that, friends visiting Mysore were begged to make a point of going to the zoo and seeing how Baba was getting along. They reported that he was well, but looked very thin and sad. All the keepers at the zoo said he was fretting, and for 3 months I managed to restrain my wife from visiting Mysore. Then she said one day, I must see Baba. Either you take me by car, or I will go myself by bus or train. So I took her by car. And after that, when many friends of this narrator who visit Mysore, they were told to make it a point to go to the zoo and see how Baba was getting along. They all came back and they reported that he was well, but he was getting thin, and he was sad also as he was missing them. And all the keepers at the zoo, they also said that he was sad, he was unhappy. And for 3 months the narrator could restrain his wife from visiting Mysore, but one day she said that she must see Baba, she has to go there. Either you should take me by car, or I'll go myself by bus or by train. So the narrator, he has to take him, so he took her there by car. Friends has conjectured that Bear would not recognize her. I had thought so too, but while she was yet some yards away from his cage, Baba saw her and recognized her. He howled with happiness. She ran up to him, petted him through the bars, and he stood on his head in delight. Now, many friends of the narrator, they said that he might have forgotten her. He would not recognize her, and the narrator was also having the same opinion. But when she reached there, she was some yards away from the cave. Baba, the Bruno, saw her and he recognized her. He howled with happiness. The narrator's wife also ran up to him. She petted her. She petted him through the bars of the cage, and he was very delightful. He was very happy. He stood on his head in delight. For the next 3 hours, she would not leave that case. She gave him tea, lemonade, cakes, ice cream, and what not. Then closing time came, and we had to leave. My wife cried bitterly, Baba cried bitterly, even the hardened curator and the keeper felt depressed. As for me, I had reconciled myself to what I knew was going to happen next. And sorry. For the next 3 hours, she kept sitting there. She gave him many things to eat and drink. She gave him tea, lemonade, cake, ice cream, and she gave him each and everything. And he also eaten these things with love. Then the closing time of the zoo came, and we had to leave there. So author's wife and Baba, both they cried bitterly. Even the hardened curators and the keepers, they also felt very depressed, but they knew that what is going to happen, they have to leave that place. Oh, please, sir, she asked the curator, may I have my Baba back? Hesitantly, he answered, Madam, he belongs to the zoo and is government property now. I cannot give away government property, but if my boss, the superintendent at Bangalore, agrees, certainly you may have him back. Now those hardened creators and the keepers, they were also felt depressed, and they also have same feelings for them. And she cried, the narrator's wife, she cried to the curator. She asked him, may I have my Baba back? And then he said, now it is government's property. It belongs to zoo. It is government's property, and he won't be able to give government property without permission. But if his boss, the superintendent at Bangalore, agrees, then certainly you may have him back. You can take him back. There followed the return journey to Bangalore and a visit to the superintendent's Bangalore. A tearful pleading, Baba and I are both fretting for each other. Will you please give him back to me? He was kind-hearted man and consented. Now, on their return journey, they went to Bangalore. They went to superintendent's Bangalore, and with tears in her eyes, she said, "Both Baba and I, we are unhappy. We are very sad. We cannot stay away from each other." So she requested him to give him back. He was a kind hearted man, so he consented. Not only that, he wrote to the curator telling him to lend us a cage for transporting the bear to the Bangalore. Now, not only he agreed to give him back, he also written a letter. Has written a letter to the curator and told him to give them a cage for transporting the bear to Bangalore. Back we went to Mysore again. Armed with the superintendent's letter, Baba was driven into a small cave and hoisted on the top of the car. The cage was tied securely, and a slow and careful return journey to Bangalore was accomplished. Then they, having the superintendent's letter, they went back to Mysore again. They handed over the letter to the curator, and so they allowed him to take Baba along with them, and they put him in a cage and put it on the top of the car. And it was tied securely so that it may not fall. And slowly and carefully they returned to Bangalore. Once home, a squad of coolies were engaged for the special work in our compound. An island was made for Baba. It was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide, and was surrounded by a dry pit or mold, 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep. A wooden box that once housed fowls was brought, and put on the island for Baba to sleep in at night. Straw was placed inside to keep him warm and his baby, the gnarled stump along with his gun, the piece of bamboo, both of which had been sentimentally preserved since he had been sent away to the zoo, were put back for him to play with. Now, once they came back home, there was a group of coolies, a team of coolies were engaged to for a special work in their compound, and an island was made for Baba to give him a, you can say, natural environment, and also to for the safety purposes. And they made an island that was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide, and it was surrounded by a dry pit, or you can say a long ditch, and which was 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep. And a wooden box, a big wooden box, which in which the hens and fowls were kept, it was put in the island of the Baba so that it can sleep there at night. Some straw was also placed inside it to keep him warm, and all his toys, the twisted stump, gun, piece of bamboo, with all the things with which he used to play, they all were preserved. They were all were sentimentally preserved, and when he had been sent away to the zoo, now all these things they were put back for him to play with. And now the Baba was also very happy, and the narrator's wife was also very happy. In a few days, the coolies hosted the case on the island, and Baba was released. He was delighted, standing on his hind legs. He pointed his gun and cradled his baby. My wife spent hours sitting on the chair there while he sat on her lap. He was 15 months old and pretty heavy too. Now, in a few days, when the island was ready, and many coolies they hosted the case on the island, and Baba was released there. Now he was very happy. He was, you can say, expressing his happiness by standing on his hind legs. Now he was playing with all his toys, his guns, his baby, that stump with which he used to play. And the narrator's wife, she also spent hours sitting on the chair while he sat on her lap, in the lap of narrator's wife. Now he has grown old. Now he was 15 months old, and now he was very heavy too. The way my wife reaches the island and leaves it is interesting. I have tied a rope to the overhanging branch of a mango tree with a loop at its end. Putting one foot on in a loop, she kicks off the other to bridge the 6-foot gap that constitutes the width of the surrounding pit. The return journey is made the same way, but who can say now that a sloth bear has no sense of affection, no memory, and no individual characteristics? Now he was put in the island. Now narrator's wife, she used to visit that island, and it was a very interesting way. What they had done, they had tied a rope on the branches of a mango tree which was in their compound with a loop at its end. They made a loop, and she put one foot in that loop, and then they kicks off the other. So there was a 6 feet gap uh, that constitute the width of the surrounding pit. She used to cover that gap through this loop, and the return journey was also the same. So she used to go there every day and to meet her sloth bear. And no one can say that the animal, the sloth bear, he does not have any sense of affection, or he does not have any memory or individual characteristics, because he recognizes the love of narrator's wife, and he also memorized her even after a long gap. And so it was a story of a love between an animal and a human being. So let us discuss the theme of the story. It is based on the theme that even wild animals like sloth bear have emotions, and that they respond to the love and kindness shown towards them. In fact, the emotional bond that animals form is so strong that they do not easily forget those who love and care for them. Thank you.